Hey y'all, so this is going to be a quick story about exactly the craziest thing that happened to me so far. One of the craziest things, because y'all know I got a lot of crazy stories. One of the craziest things that has happened to me in Atlanta so far. And I always say, if my little fur buddy makes a guest appearance, don't mind him, but right now he's over there sleeping. So I was getting ready for bed today, and I realized something like really dawned on me about how moving to Atlanta has really given me the opportunity to meet certain people and experience certain things. So I'll just get straight into it. So I had started to use Instagram a couple of years ago. I'm gonna say like three, 4 years ago. I can't remember when Instagram was out, but I remember a lot of people were on it before I even really got on it. So I started to post cute selfies here and there. You know, I had like my old grainy cell phone, so the pictures got better over time, but they weren't professional. So it was 2 summers ago, or at least spring or summer, I ended up getting this message. So someone basically DM'd me and was like, hey, my boss is having a party tonight and he wants you to come. Now, already that sounds kind of sketchy, like your boss is having a party. So I'm like, what they think, like I'm some type of hooker, or I'm some type of, you know, what do you call it, prostitute or something. There's a specific word you call those women that, you know, you take out throughout the night and then you actually pay them to be your girlfriend. An escort, there you go. I'm like, I'm not posting up any pictures for them or for whoever this person is to think that I'm an escort. So I was like, okay, tell me more. And they're like, yeah, you know, I was looking at your picture, and my team was also looking at some of your pictures, and we want you to be at our boss's birthday party. So more and more talking, eventually this person and I exchanged phone numbers, and I'm like, okay, well, how did you find my profile? Who is your boss? And where's this party going to be? So they said they were just browsing through Facebook and my picture came up. What made me stand out were certain things that he said, but it was nothing like rude or anything. And then he said, unfortunately, he can't tell me who his boss is, but he can tell me where the party is going to be. And it was at this place called Josephine Lounge. And I've been to Josephine Lounge before, and I actually knew someone at the time who was an engineer, like light engineer. We were just acquaintances, and we had met at some type of meetup group thing for new people in Atlanta. So I said, okay, I'll show up, but I have to bring a friend. And the person was like, yeah, of course, whatever makes you feel comfortable, because I know this is already weird enough. So I called one of my friends and I said, hey, you know, I got this weird message, meet me in front of Josephine Lounge at like 11. I think that was the meeting time. So we get there, and I'm just standing there, and this person and I kind of texting back and forth, and he was like, oh, we're about to pull up. Now, as he said we're about to pull up, this Rolls Royce like slowly stops right in front of me. It was a white Rolls Royce, yeah. And this dude, and he matched the picture, but he was like, God, how big was Kenny? 6'3", 6'4", I can't remember exactly, but he was tall. He was taller than me at least. So he was like, hey, Tana. I said, yeah. Are you so-and-so? Of course, I just gave out his name, but anyhow, I won't repeat it. And I said, are you so-and-so? And he was like, yeah, I'm so-and-so. And then he was like, my boss is T-Pain. So I just like laughed. And then before I know it, T-Pain was like stepping out the car with his wife and like his entourage or whatever. Said hi to me, said hi to my friend. And then he was like, y'all ready to party? And I look at my friend like, yeah, like this is T-Pain. Like, I'm sprung. Boy, she got me. Like that T-Pain, the one that be doing all that and with the dreads, T-Pain, him. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening. Like this is really happening. So we're going to Josephine, and it was buck wild crazy. But one thing I did not like is like people were like, because the VIP is like up top, so regular admission, that sounds funny, but regular admission was down below, but people kept like facing the VIP where we were at. So that was the only weird thing, but I mean, it was crazy. They had like a short person, I don't know like what to officially politically correctly say, they're just smaller people, if you know what I mean. They had a small person, and they had like a chain around her neck, and they were walking her like a dog. That was weird. And then I was able to, like, I don't know how, I think it was his bodyguard was the person that contacted me. So I think it was his bodyguard's chain. So he took his chain and put it around my neck, and it was like heavy as hell. And I was like trying to be like, yeah, you know, I'm a rapper, you know, just being really stupid, really funny or whatever. Afterwards, T-Pain was like, I'm having an after party at my house. So at the end of the night, guess where I was with like a whole bunch of people, like about 20 people. But still, I was in T-Pain's mansion, y'all. I was just like, this isn't really happening. So then, to put the cherry on top of everything, so the next day, at the end of the night, I found out that he was actually having his like private dinner party the next day at a private location. So I said, okay, you know, I'm interested in coming, but can I bring my friend? They were like, no, it's only limited seating, only one person. So I said, okay, I'll go. I didn't even get the address until like an hour before the time. So I'm in my closet. I'm not ready. I don't know what to wear. I'm like, I don't want to be like a hoochie mama, but I don't want to be like too like closed up. I have a turtleneck, so I picked something nice or whatever. I went there, and it ended up being Tips T.I.'s studio, or where he records, either his studio, I don't know. Either way, the manager over there told me, oh, this is Tip's studio. So I go in there, and it's like very secluded, very private. I was able to taste very expensive Cavassier, which was very interesting. I believe it was the manager that gave him that gift. And I had like, they took pictures and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know if I was looking cute or not, but I was just kind of like, is this really happening? Like, and it's not me trying to even be like a groupie, because it's not like I was like a groupie following artist or whatever before. But it's like when something like that happens, like somebody just rolls up in your DM and was like, hey, my boss wants you at his party. And then when the boss shows up, it's T-Pain. I don't even know what it's not even coincidence, because it wasn't like I was even looking for it, you know. But either way, that was my story with hanging out with T-Pain on his birthday. And of course, his bodyguard and I, we still kind of keep in touch here and there. And some other things happened where he got in the bodyguard, not T-Pain, the bodyguard got in contact with me for certain things that were going on, personal things or whatever. And I went to visit him at a facility that he had to go to handle some stuff or whatever. But I just found it funny, like, just from me posting a couple of cute pictures, and then like I'm partying with T-Pain. So that's my story with T-Pain. I mean, I'll tell you guys another story, random story about how I ended up meeting Fat Joe one time, like hanging out in his VIP for most of the night, but that's for another time. Anyhow, until next time, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope I didn't ramble on, and stay tuned for more of Tana's craziness.